Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sasha Farba. Europe has finally understood that protecting its eastern border is our shared responsibility. Now, those are the words of Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk after the first Eastern Flank Summit in Helsinki. Now, as NATO remains the backbone of regional security, however, the EU is also preparing more on the eastern border and is stepping up with coordinated initiatives like the Eastern Flank Guard and Poland's Eastern Shield. And we now discuss what all these moves mean for Poland and Europe with our guest, Piotr Szymański, Senior Fellow at the Center for Eastern Studies. Good to have you on TVP World. Welcome.
Very good morning. Thank you very much for this kind invitation.
I want to get your sense of this Eastern Flank Summit. In your assessment, what tangibles do we gather? What concrete things can we now see? What does this mean ultimately for security?
So what a year for the Finnish diplomacy. We started it in January 2025 with another Eastern summit in Helsinki. So it was more about the Baltic Sea security, establishing enhanced vigilance activities of NATO called Baltic Sentry, aimed at protection of critical infrastructures and monitoring of the so-called shadow fleet. And then entire President's Stup diplomacy with Donald Trump, and this year ends with yet another summit in Helsinki. This time it is more about the EU and the eastern flank of Europe. So I think that the most important outcome of this summit is that we are back to the idea of the flagship projects by the EU, which were essentially and unfortunately rejected during European Council meeting in October. These are four flagship projects proposed after drone incidents and recognition of the importance of airspace protection. So these are aimed at airspace surveillance and defense, outer space, drone protection, so this so-called drone wall, and Eastern Flank Watch, which is a more land-based oriented initiative. So right now we know that Poland and Finland are going to coordinate the Eastern Flank efforts to bring back these ideas to the table and seek broader European support and even more importantly, financing for these projects to bolster the security of the eastern regions of the European Union.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Prime Minister of Poland, Donald Tusk, has said this is shared responsibility. As you said, this is out of initiative, auspices of the European Union. Also, the Prime Minister said that this is something that Eastern Flank countries can squeeze as much as possible from EU funds. So what do you think he meant by that? And what does that mean concretely? Are we looking at more air defense? Are we looking at more drones? Like, what tangibly can we expect? How fast is this going to go ahead?
So there are several things here. Firstly, we have this European readiness roadmap until 2030, where the EU has clearly defined goals on capabilities we have to pursue and develop, like air defense, like long-range fires. But this is not only about these high-end military capabilities. This is as well about logistics, security of supply, or military mobility. So this is our goal. This is should be, and it was clearly stated yesterday in Helsinki, complementary to the efforts by NATO, regional defense plans, enhanced vigilance activities, forward land forces. So there is entire bunch of measures being implemented right now to strengthen the security and deterrence on the eastern flank. Plus, of course, we have ongoing negotiations on the new EU budget, so multi-annual financial framework. So we are simply striving for more funds for the eastern flank, and I think this summit and such initiatives are very good way to convince our Western allies, our Western partners or South European partners that protection of the eastern regions and eastern external border of the EU is a shared responsibility, and that we should allocate enough funding for these projects mentioned already during next EU budget in order to help countries located bordering Russia, not only in the Baltic Sea region, because it was presented as the entire rim stretching from the Arctic till the Black Sea region, to simply help us with our efforts to protect the entire EU.
Yeah, and I think the wording also was even further than that, right? It was from the Arctic all the way into the Mediterranean. So this whole region encompassed here as well. I'm curious as what you said about convincing Western partners. Obviously, what's meant by that is other partners, France, Germany, etc. But what I'm also curious about is, will this kind of format, in what it's structured right now, this first of its kind, how convincing will this be perhaps to the United States, to Donald Trump? Is this something favorable that the U.S. will look at? What is the view from Washington going to be? How's Trump going to see all this?
I think that it was within the EU format, although the participating heads of states and heads of government mentioned NATO as well, NATO defense capability targets, NATO expenditures. So I think we are dealing with our military defense in deterrence together with the United States within NATO. And I am, honestly speaking, not sure if this format will definitely be continued by the participating states, because this is something new for Finnish diplomacy. Last year as well, in December, although not in Helsinki but in Lapland, there was another EU summit hosted by Finland, and back then Finland invited southern member states, for instance Italy and Greece. So we will see if that develops into a permanent format for cooperation, or that is more about how Finland sees its priorities each year, and will it be a new tradition to invite EU leaders in December to Helsinki? Will that continue if the government changes in Finland? It is yet to be seen. However, there are literally dozens of different security cooperation formats within the Baltic Sea region on different levels. So apart from NATO and the EU, we have Council of the Baltic Sea States with the ongoing Polish presidency. We have the so-called Northern Group, which gathers defense ministers. We have Joint Expeditionary Force, which is more about military cooperation. We have Nordic defense cooperation. We have consultations within Nordic and Baltic aid format. We have still NATO format, which is the Bucharest 9, and it is something very interesting because it traditionally has gathered countries of the eastern flank, stretching from Estonia to Bulgaria, 9 member states of NATO. However, the summit of the Bucharest 9 in 2024 saw the participation of Finland's president and prime minister.
Let me jump in there for a moment,
if
I just ask you.
All Nordic countries.
Yeah, I mean, you put an emphasis there on Finland for a moment, but at the same time, correct me if I'm wrong, but Poland is playing a key role in this. The Prime Minister himself, Donald Tusk, was there. I think this is very much also, I mean, the auspices here are different, right? We have the EU, we have the Nordics, East, but I mean, Poland played a key central role in all this, has also been, I think, a spearhead very much in all this. But you mentioned all these different things. I mean, if we look at JEF, for instance, this joint force from the Nordics, I mean, that's under NATO. If we look at B9, that's a certain way under NATO. There are all these different types of close agreements and initiatives. Is this complementary? Is this just a political patchwork? Or is this really building up to a coherent strategy? All of this together.
I think this summit was mostly about arranging this entire cooperation to be complementary in the best possible way. If you look carefully at the wording, the statement after this summit mentions the variety of initiatives, and for instance, for all Eastern flank countries, the most important ones are the so-called Eastern Sentry and the Baltic Sentry. So these enhanced vigilance activities, maritime ones in the Baltic Sea, and entire eastern flank airspace protection under the so-called Eastern Sentry, which is about reaction to our airspace incursions in September. So we see different allies contributing different elements, fighter jets, ground-based air defense systems. This is something vital for the entire eastern flank, and it is right now
vital on the eastern. I'm sorry to jump in there.
Countries in the region to coordinate that. And Poland and Finland will play a crucial role, as stated.
Exactly. So Poland and the region, it's historic, it's vital, it's complementary, all those things, but it's all happening right here in this part of the world. Look, we'll close it there. Thank you so much for all that. Piotr Szymański, really appreciate your time.
Thanks a lot.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.